YouTube. What's up, baby? Back in this thing again for another review. This is Q's Insight. I am Callie, and today we're going to be talking about Andor, Episode 1, entitled Casa. Alright, now if you've been in the channel before, you already know how we do it. We started off with the premise, 3 favorite scenes, the grade, and then we on to the next one, right? Again, so Andor, Episode 1, entitled Casa. Alright. So for this episode, we start off with Cassian on some planet called Morlana 1, and he goes to this city area, and he ends up going to this club, and it's kind of like a club establishment, something like that. He has a drink, and then he talks to pretty much what it would seem like an escort, and it's a female, of course. And he talks to her about some info on a girl, and this girl happens to be from the planet Canary, and she supposedly works there. So the escort tells Cassian that hey, I'll be back. I'll go look for her. She comes back and she tells him that she actually left and hasn't been working for several months. And he tells the escort lady, hey, I'm looking for my sister. So when he says that, I don't know if he's saying that this lady from Canary would know his sister, or maybe the lady that he's looking for is his sister. I'm not sure. But the escort, doesn't have the information that he wants, so he ends up leaving. Now, earlier in that scene, he ends up having a kind of somewhat of an argument and confrontation with these 2 guards. So he ends up running into them when he leaves. So he gets tailed by the guards, and then they stop him for a second. He ends up having to fight them, and he gets the upper hand, and he ends up accidentally killing one of them. And so the other guard is like, well, look, we'll just don't kill me, what I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. We'll say it was an accident. You just go ahead and go about your business. And Cassian ends up shooting that guard too and killing him, just so that way, he can cover his trail. So then he goes to his ship and he leaves off the planet. We then pick up on another planet, and it's this droid called B2EMO. And this droid ends up traveling to where Cassian is. He's at this planet, obviously, and Cassian is asleep, so he wakes Cassian up. But before he wakes him up, we see that Cassian is dreaming. He's having this dream about his past, I guess on that planet, Canary. But anyways, he wakes him up. And then B2EMO ends up talking to him. Cassian is trying to figure out from B2EMO, was anybody here last night looking for me, whatever it may be. And Cassian says there was a lady named Marva or Merva, I don't know, that came to look for him. And then Cassian ends up having to leave, but he tells B2EMO not to, tell anyone that he was there. So from there, he meets up with a guy named Brasso, and they seem to be pretty good friends. He tells him a story to tell anyone that asks about the whereabouts of Cassian. So obviously Brasso's like, well, you must have gotten into some stuff. You owe me for this, what I'm saying, but I got your back. We then see a captain get informed of the 2 guards that died, that were killed by Cassian. Now they don't know who killed the guards, but they are informed that 2 guards have died. and the person that's informing the captain is like this officer, and the officer tells the captain, we have a lead on the suspect, a few things. We found out that he talked to this girl at this club, and so we can go question her, see what she knows about it, whatever it may be. And the captain tells the officer, basically to make up a story for the two guards' deaths. He doesn't want to have like any like type of lingering issues over the guard force that they are, because they're actually about to go into inspection. So he wants to like make sure everything is clear. So he tells the officer to make up a lie about the guard's deaths, and we see from the officer's eyes that this doesn't sit well with him. Like, he really wants to get down to the bottom of who killed those two officers, and also, he cares about, being a true officer. It's not just, what I'm saying, you lie here and there to cover your ass. You got to be able to, speak the truth all the time, right? No matter how it makes you look. So from there, we see Cassian, and he goes to see a girl named Bix, and she seems to be like some type of like, she has connections for one, but she seems to be like some type of like engineer or like, or some type of tech. And he's trying to get her help to get a buyer for this item that he has to sell, because one of her friends is like a big buyer, like that has a lot of money. So he wants her to get him to come to him to buy this certain item, so that way he can get some money. He can, get far away from, trouble, because obviously we know trouble's going to come at them for him killing the guards, plus, whatever else he's done before that. So Bix, tells him, I'm gonna help you out and everything like that. We continue with Cassian's past dream, and we're just seeing like little things that's happening. I can't tell exactly what's happening just yet, but we still continue with that dream. And then from there, we go back to the officer that informed the captain about the guards, those two guards' deaths, and he's still looking for leads on the killer. Then from there, we end up seeing Cassian, still walking around and stuff like that, and he ends up running into this guy named Nurchi that he knows, and he's telling Cassian that he wants the money that he's owed, give it back to him and stuff like that, whatever it may be. And behind Cassian is this alien that he also knows, and named Vetch. Cassian is basically not bothered by the situation. He ends up leaving, practically. And then we see Bix walks off, and there's a guy named Tim that likes her, and he's trying to keep up with her to make sure to see where she's going, but he ends up losing her. And then we see Bix go to this like this guy, talks to him for a second, and then she goes up into the ship and she sends a message to someone, probably the buyer, Then we see the officer still trying to figure out, who killed the guards, and he's getting closer and closer to finding a lead. And then from there, Cassian goes to this junkyard to get some device. He talks to a guy named Pegla, and Pegla and him must be cool, because Pegla's like, look, get what you need to get, and then get out of here, bounce, bro. I know you into something right now, so I ain't even trying to get tied into the situation. So he gets what he needs to get, and then he leaves. And then we continue to see into Cassian's past memory for a second, and then that's how the episode ends. So that's basically the premise of this episode. Three of my favorite scenes. I didn't really get 3. I was only able to get 2 just because of how the episode was. It's not that it was boring or anything like that. It's not like She-Hulk, but it's just that there wasn't too many interesting things happening, like as far as like favorite scenes. Like, if I can talk about dialogue, then I'd be different, but I'm talking about favorite scenes. So I got 2 of them. So my first one would be Cassian versus the guards. He took them out, bro. He took them out, and with no problem. And they had the upper hand because he had his back towards them, and they both had the blasters out, and he still took them out, bro, with no blasters. You know what I'm saying? Until he shot the last guard that was alive, but he still took them out with no blasters, pretty much. And I just thought the fighting was pretty clean, stuff like that. I like the differences between, the regular Star Wars stories with the Jedi to, Mandalorian and Boba Fett, the way that they fight, to, this Andor. It's just like, it's just dope to me. And if you pay attention, you can tell the differences between those 3 stories, or those 4 stories within the fighting. So my second favorite thing would be the B2 EMO getting rid of the animals. And a scene where we're introduced to B2 EMO, he's like making his way to Cassian, and there's like these little animals, like what you could be considered dogs or something like that, right? And they're bothering they're bothering B2 EMO, and then one of them tries to pee on B2 EMO. That fool lets out this little shocker thing. Bzzz. The little animal runs away, bro. I just thought that was real funny. Like, really reminded me of, certain scenes that we have throughout the Star Wars legacy, where, R2-D2 will zap somebody that's too close, you know what I'm saying? But that would be 2 of my favorite scenes. The grade for this episode, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Definitely wasn't a bad episode at all. Fairly interesting, and it has me intrigued to see what we got coming up next in these few episodes. But yeah, 8 out of 10, man. So that's basically it. If you guys saw this episode, let me know what you guys thought about this in the comments down below. All right. Right now I'm at work, so that's why I got the mask and everything like that. I just wanted to get a clean video to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Videos may be slowing down a little bit here and there, but I'm still gonna try to do my best to get you as many videos as I can throughout the week, and still, watch movies and TV series, whatever it may be, and get you those reviews. Nothing's gonna slow me down. I am a single father, and I do got a job where I just switch shifts to working, graveyard shifts. So it's gonna be a little different, but I still got y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank you for all the new subscribers. Thank you for any input. If anybody put any input, thank you for any love. Thank you for any hate. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to be viewed, and I appreciate whether it's positive or negative. You know what I'm saying? It's all under one umbrella. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, until next time, this is Q's Insight. I am Cali. Peace.